Ayo, what is poppin' poppers? In today's video, I'll be talking about a bunch of One Piece pops that I would like to see made from Funko. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, so with the recent wave of One Piece pops being announced by Funko, that includes Sabo, Luffy in kimono, Zoro, and Brook both in their Wano outfits, as well as a crocodile pop, it led me thinking to what other characters I would like to see made from Funko from the One Piece anime. And I have a lot to name, so if you like One Piece and you like Funko, make sure you sit around for today's video since I have a lot of ideas and I want you guys to hear them. Also, I'd like to mention that I'm currently on episode around 700. I just finished Dressrosa, so there is a little bit of stuff that I don't know about in the show, so there are some characters that I probably won't mention since I haven't been introduced to them yet. So to start off, I would like to see all the warlords as pops, and this includes all the ones that have had their warlord title revoked from them. So some warlords that already have pops are Doflamingo, Trafalgar Law, and also Boa Hancock, but the rest of them don't have pops yet, so I'm going to quickly go over those. So starting off, we have Mihawk. Mihawk is the best swordsman out there in the One Piece universe, and I have to say this is definitely my favorite warlord that there is. I just think he would look super awesome as a pop, and I think Funko would do an amazing job with him, so yeah, I definitely like to see Mihawk as a pop. Then we have Kuma. This one would be actually really cool to see as a 6-inch pop, mainly because he's bigger in the show, bigger than your normal One Piece character. But yeah, Kuma is owned by the world government. I do believe he is a pacifista. I think I said that right. But yeah, it would be cool to see Kuma made into a pop, possibly a 6-inch like I mentioned, or maybe even a 10-inch. They can go bigger if they want, but yeah, it would be cool to see Kuma as a pop. And then we have Buggy. This one would also be really cool to see as a pop. Buggy is definitely one of my favorite characters from the show, one of the earlier villains in the show, and he's kind of been carried on throughout the show as kind of like a joke character, I guess. But yeah, either way, I really do like Buggy, and I think he would look amazing as a pop. Maybe a version of him where he's all cut up into pieces using his devil fruit would also look really cool. But yeah, Buggy is definitely one that I would want to see made. And then we have Edward Weevil, which is a character that I actually haven't been introduced yet, since he gets introduced around episode 750, I do believe. This is one character that I've heard a lot of people say is kind of boring and they would care less about if he just wasn't in the show. But yeah, Edward Weevil, if they're gonna make the rest of the warlords, might as well make him as well. And it would also be cool to see Gecko Moira as a pop. I know that he's no longer a warlord, but it would still be pretty cool to see him as a pop. Maybe also like a 6-inch form, just like I said for Kuma, since he is a bigger character in the show. But yeah, Moira's definitely would be a cool pop to see made. And then a warlord that actually resigned would be Jinbei. Jinbei would actually be really awesome to see as a pop. Definitely my top 5 characters I would like to see made into pops from One Piece. As of right now, I don't believe there's any fishmen turned into pops from the One Piece universe, so I would say Jinbei, maybe King Neptune, or maybe like Hordy would be cool to see as pops made from the Fishman universe, but definitely number 1 fishman for me would be Jinbei to see as a pop. And also relating to these 7 warlords, I guess, since they're given also titles as well, would be the 4 emperors, the Yonkos. It would be cool to see all 4 of them turned into pops. The first Yonko I'm mentioning is Kaido. Kaido would be a really cool pop, especially if he had a normal version of himself as a common, where he's just in his complete normal self, and then maybe an exclusive version where he's in his devil fruit form as a dragon. That would be really cool to see as a pop. And something that it would look similar to that they already have made into a pop is Shenron. I would want it to look something like this as a 6-inch pop, kind of look like a dragon. If anything, it would just look really cool like this. And the second Yonko I'd like to see turned into a pop is Big Mom. Big Mom would look really cool as a pop, maybe even a 6-inch or a 10-inch like I mentioned for the other characters in this list today. But yeah, Big Mom would be a really cool pop. Maybe some people from Big Mom's pirates, such as Katakuri or any of her children, will look really cool as pops as well. But yeah, Big Mom would be a really awesome pop. And the third Yonko I'm mentioning is Shanks. Shanks would be a very cool pop, and I know a lot of people have been wanting with this one for a while now, and I can definitely see why. I do believe this one was leaked in some sort of system recently, so this is one that we could be see coming soon. But if they're gonna make Shanks, it would be cool to see him maybe as a common version where he has both arms, and then maybe a chase version of that same pop with just 1 arm instead of 2, since he did lose his arm when he saved Luffy. But yeah, Shanks would be a really cool pop to see made. I know a lot of people have been wanting this one for a while now, and I know there has been some rumors about it being released soon, but since it's not actually official from Funko, I'm not going to be saying it's an actual pop, and that's why I'm putting it into this video. And the fourth and final Yonko would be Blackbeard. Blackbeard would be an extremely cool pop, maybe one where he's using both of his devil fruit powers in both hands. It would be really cool to see this guy made as a pop, also a 6-inch since he is on the bigger end in the show. But yeah, Blackbeard, that's one that they have to make. Blackbeard is definitely one of the characters in this show that is going to matter a lot in the story, so I definitely want to see him made as a pop. And then just to name a couple characters before I get into the Navy part of the video, I want to name some pirates. So we have a new Trafalgar Law, since the old one is getting pretty expensive, and we saw this with the Brook pop. Since the old Brook pop was getting expensive, they released a new one, so maybe they could do this with Law as well. And then we have the King of Pirates himself, Gold Roger. It would also be cool to see some of his crew members, such as Rayleigh or Odin, as well as turn into pops. That would be amazing. Gold Roger is definitely one that I want to see made. And since I just finished Dressrosa, it would also be cool to see Foxfire Keenmon, or maybe even Corazon turned into pops as well. You know what, now that I'm thinking about it, it would also be pretty cool to see Caesar Clown turned into a pop, maybe using his actual devil fruit and his hands are actually gas, and kind of, oh, that would look really cool as a pop. Okay, but moving on from pirates, we have the Navy. There are a lot of notable Navy characters in the show that I would love to see made as pops, so let's quickly go over these. So to start off, we have a bunch of the top of the Navy, so we have fleet admirals and admirals. So starting off, we have Sakazuki. This one would be really cool to see as a pop, maybe where he's using his devil fruit, where he has kind of like magma all around him. That would be really cool to see as a pop. Then we have Son Goku. Son Goku maybe in his Buddha form would also be pretty cool to see as a pop, even though I know he's a former admiral. And then we have Aokiji, which I know is also a former admiral, but it would be pretty cool to see him as a pop as well. Also, it would be cool to see him using his Devil Fruit in his pop. Then we have Borsalino. It would be cool to see him as a pop as well, maybe using his light Devil Fruit. I don't know how they would pull that off, but it would be pretty cool to see him as a pop as well. And then we have Fujitora, which would also be pretty cool to see as a pop. Really, really cool. Definitely my favorite out of the admirals. It would be really cool to see him as a pop. It would be kind of hard for him to be as a pop using his Devil Fruit, since you can't really have a meteor coming from the sky. Maybe you can have like a meteor hole and he's kind of in it. I don't know, but it would be really cool either way to see him as a pop. And then some Vice Admirals I would like to see made into pops. I already know I mentioned Garp. He is also a Vice Admiral, but I threw him in there before since he is pretty powerful compared to all the different admirals. Smoker would be really cool to see as a pop. I know that she's not a Vice Admiral, but Tashigi would also be really cool to see as a pop. Maybe Virgo, even though he was a traitor, but he was still a Vice Admiral. It would be really awesome to see him as a pop. The One Piece universe is just so big, so it would be super hard to name all the different characters I would want to see made into pops just in one video. But yeah, there's a lot of characters I definitely missed in today's video that I would want to see made into pops. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any characters I missed in today's video that you would want to see made into pops. I know I missed a lot of characters in today's video because there's just, like I said, so many characters in this show, it's just hard to remember them all. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace.